Yeah, so first and foremost, I kind of wrote a speech. It's not gonna be too long, but when I think about my career, man, it has been a blessing. I remember when me and my cousin Josh Brown, we were like 8 years old, and I used to always tell him, I'm gonna make it to the NFL. I'm gonna make it to the NFL. And then, if you ask everybody in my community, if they remember me, they say, man, I remember that little 8-year-old skinny kid that was running around saying that he was gonna make it to the NFL, right? And when I got to college, I remember my cousin, I was telling him, I said, man, I got this dream. I said, I got this dream. And so I wrote it, and it goes, it all started with a dream of making something of myself. A dream that no matter the circumstances I was born into, that I could attain anything I put my mind to. I was determined to make it, determined to change the dynamic of my family financials, and determined to be the example for the younger generation that if he can make it, so can I. Well, I'm proud to stand up here and tell you, Coach Z, I'm proud to tell you, I'm proud to stand up here before you guys and say that I chased down that dream and it was one hell of a ride. God is great, and I know that without him being my protector and guiding me throughout this journey, none of this would be possible. To every coach and player that I had the privilege of playing with or to be coached by, thank you. To every fan base that I had, Broncos country, to every fan base that I had the pleasure of playing for, in front of, that rooted me on every game, thank you. To my hometown of Belleville, Texas, the city that I am a product of, the city that instilled the passion and pride that I played with my whole career, thank you. To Southern Methodist University, Phil Bennett, June Jones, and most importantly, my receivers coach, Larry Edmondson, who changed my life, the guy who came into a small town of Belleville, Texas, and believed in me, saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself, that recruited me and got me to SMU, thank you. To the city of Pittsburgh and the Steelers organization, Mike Tomlin, Kevin Colbert, and the Rooney family, just to name a few, thank you for drafting me to an incredible organization that allowed my career to get off to a great start. To the city of Denver and the Broncos organization, John Elway, Peyton Manning, the Bowling family, just to name a few, thank you for embracing me for 6 years. Those were some of the best years of my life. I'll never forget hoisting that Lombardi trophy and riding on that fire truck next to my son and Demaryius Thomas during the parade with 1 million people in attendance. That was one of the best days of my life. The memories in this building I will cherish forever. To the 49ers, Saints, and Bills organization, thank you. I went to every one of you guys' organizations and hope that I can help you guys win a world championship, and I'm sorry that we fell short in those years. The memories, the battles, the laughs, the friendships that I made in those years, I'll forever cherish. To my family and friends that rooted me on and had my back through thick and thin, thank you. You know who you are. To my grandmother, Josie Sanders, I love you. You know how much I appreciate you. We've been through a lot, and as a child, you told me that I was the man of the house, and now all your bills are paid for. I took pride in that responsibility and now to see you living your best life and stress-free is one of my greatest accomplishments. To my Uncle Howard, my coach since I was 7 years old, you know without you, Uncle, I probably wouldn't have made it. I'll never forget what you told me when I was struggling as a youth, feeling sorry for myself. You told me the world doesn't owe me anything and that anything I want, I have to go get it on my own. I thank you for that. I went and got it, as you can see. To my wife, Gabriella, thank you. You are my rock. You are my backbone. Throughout my career, you made everything so easy for me. All I had to do was play football, and you took care of everything else. I appreciate you greatly, and I love you. To my kids, Princeton and Zoe. Look, he's over there smiling. Thank you for being my motivation, and always after long days of work, when I would get home and being upset over a drop pass or Coach Z getting on me, telling me to go harder, or just something. And Coach Z, you know I love you. Thank you for always being there at the door, even when I'm down, saying, who cares, Dad? Who cares? Take me to go and get ice cream. Or Zoe telling me, Dad, let's go play Barbies or play outside or something. I thank you guys for that. I'm a stickler, and you guys gave me balance. To my dad, Joe Shallow, thank you. I love you, Pop. And last but not least, to my mother, Stephanie Sanders, who passed away my second year in the NFL. I love you, and I thank you. I know you're smiling down on me all the time. I know you saw me making it to the NFL, but I'm here to tell you that your baby boy has also had one hell of a career. I'm walking away after 12 years, several Super Bowl appearances, Pro Bowls, and as a Super Bowl champion. I know you're proud, and that was always one of my goals. Again, thank you to everyone who helped me attain my dream.
All right, thank you, Emmanuel. We'll start off with the first question from Michaelis.
Yeah, Emmanuel, I know you got knocked around a little bit here and there over your career, but it seemed like you still had a little more gas in the tank.
Yeah.
Why call it?
I mean, when is ever a right time? For me, like, I was thinking, like, I knew that was going to be the first question. I've been doing this a long time. And everybody, even the Bills, I had a couple teams reach out. And I told myself, I said, when is it ever a right time for me to hang it up? What is it for me to go out and get hurt? For me to be like, I'm done. But even how I'm built, me getting hurt, what am I risking? What is it worth? I got 2 kids. I got a beautiful wife. I have something that's bigger than football. And I want to see my grandkids and my kids have kids, and I want to see them grow old, and I want to grow old. And the game of football is tough on the body, and I lost a close friend, and we all know him, Demaryius Thomas. And for me, it's about longevity of life now. Mike, I had a heck of a career, dude. 12 years. I've been to 3 Super Bowls, and to me, I feel like, what else do I have to prove? What else do I have to prove? Now, I wake up in the morning and I'm dropping the kids off at school. I'm making sandwiches for my daughter. You know what I mean? And I see the beauty in that, and I'm happy. So, for me, like, there's never really a right time to hang it up, but I'm happy to hang it up now, and I'm content with hanging it up now.
Congrats on a great career. I think the question, because we have ideas of what we think you might do, but
Yeah.
What's next?
TV. I'm gonna do TV. So you guys will be seeing me on the tube, and I'll be here supporting the Broncos. But I got a TV gig lined up. So
Can you share where that is?
I don't know about that yet. We still haven't got the contract, so I'm waiting on the contract to come. But I'll definitely get into television. Once it's all said and done.
Emmanuel, just looking at that photo, how much does that mean to you? That
Oh, man.
Obviously, who you with?
Oh man, it means a lot. Man, that dude has helped me out so much, and just great memories. One of my fondest memories is just me and him out there on the practice field and just hearing his laugh, and dude, he really did. Like, Peyton took my game to another level, but Demaryius took my game to another level too, because he didn't say much, but he would walk up to you real quiet and tell you just little stuff that he would see. And then just from a friendship standpoint, just always there. I knew that I could call him at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. If I had anything, he's going to pick up and he's going to be there for me. And so, that picture right there just goes to show, man. I feel like, I can't talk about it enough. When we were here in 2014, it's only 3 receivers in the history of the NFL that's ever went over 3,000 yards together. So that just goes to show what type of bond we had, what type of friendship we had, what type of relationship we had. For only 3 receivers in the history of the NFL to go over 3,000 yards, that's a bond that's unbreakable. That's 2 brothers coming together trying to do something special. In the following year, we were able to win a Super Bowl. So the energy that me and him had is unmatched. It's unmatched, and it goes to show. The stats will tell you that.
Emmanuel, right here. First off, congratulations on an illustrious career. When you look back as a football player, but also as a man, when you look at your legacy and intertwine those 2 together, what describes it?
Man, look at me. Anytime I go out in public, the first thing somebody tells me, you do not look like an NFL football player. No way you're an NFL football player. Hey, go put on YouTube. You'll see. Coming across the middle, I'm taking every hit. I'm making every catch. I came into the league. I remember when I came into the league, they said I was going to be a 4th, 5th receiver. At the time, there was no outside receivers. All of them was 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", big receivers. Came in with a guy, Antonio Brown, 5'11", me, 5'11". Antonio Brown was almost 190. I'm 175. But I tell people all the time, you can measure my hands, you can measure my feet, you can measure my arms, you can't measure my heart. And that's what I play with. I play with my heart. I was willing to do whatever, put it on the line and go and try to get a win, make the crowd roar, make the plays necessary. And truthfully, the motivation was to buy my grandma a house, get my grandma out of poverty. It was a lot of stuff that was built in within me that 175 pounds, that was the weight that people didn't see on my shoulders, and that's how I played the game. But like I said, I don't look like your normal NFL. Well, now I probably do. But back then, they would say, oh, he's a slot receiver. But I made the transition to the outside, and I came here, and we did something special.
Emmanuel, a couple of things. You mentioned what the Broncos meant to you. What did the city of Denver coming to you to retirement? Do you ever think back on what might have happened if you hadn't been sitting in Kansas City on that free agent?
Oh, man.
Denver hadn't made that call?
I mean, this is God's plan. This is God's plan. I remember when I was like 16. I'm from Belleville, never ever been out of the state, and I went to this church retreat out here called Cricket Creek in Colorado, and that's the first time that I had God be my Lord and Savior. I literally, pretty much got baptized, and all of a sudden I get to Kansas City, and I knew I wanted to come here because of Peyton and everything that they had, but I didn't get a call from John Elway, so I'm sitting there in the Kansas City Chiefs facility, and I get that call. But like I said, it was all God's plan, because truthfully, when I touched down in the city, it was electrifying. It was electrifying, the energy that was here. I remember my first preseason game, I think I had 2 touchdowns for over 100 yards. I had 2 touchdowns for over 100 yards, and that was just in the first half. And I remember going in the locker room, and I went straight to the bathroom. People was like, what the heck is wrong with this dude? And I remember sitting there crying in a stall, thanking God, because I knew that this was a place that he sent me here, and I knew that I was going to do something special. And I've never told that story, but that's the God honest truth, because I knew that this was where I was supposed to be. And I knew that the city of Denver was where I was supposed to be, and the people embraced me. And I loved them, and I know that they love me, and the love is mutual.
You mentioned that 2014 season. I mean, how did that year and the next season, those 2 years with Peyton especially, just change the trajectory of your career?
It took off. It took off. Playing with Peyton, 2014, was able to go to a Pro Bowl. 2015 went to the Super Bowl, and then he retired, and it was tough. But still had some good years around here with Trevor Siemian. 16 went to the Pro Bowl, but 14 and 15, I think, when I touched down in this city was already on fire. In 2013, they had one of the most prolific offenses in the history of the NFL, So I knew what I was going to be able to do. But coming here in 14 with the key, TJ Ward, DeMarcus Ware, that free agency class, I mean, you got to think we were sitting around playing dominoes, having the time of our lives, but winning games. I mean, it was some of the best years of my life, if not, or my career, if not the best. So those times and those moments I'll never forget. I'll always cherish those times.
Manuel, going back to the Kansas City visit,
Mm-hmm.
you told me one time, I asked you how close were you to signing, and you said 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Was it really that close?
No, it was. I remember Andy Reid had left, and I don't want to keep talking about this story, but Andy Reid had left, and I'm sitting there, and we were trying to work out the logistics, because I wanted to sign a 3-year. They wanted me to sign a 4, and I told them, no, I'm only signing a 3. So Andy Reid leaves. He thinks I'm signing with the Chiefs. All of a sudden, I'm telling him, I get the call in the facility that, I can go to Denver. I tell him I'm going to Denver. So I'm there in their facility, and I remember telling him, I kind of want to just go back to my hotel and figure out the situation. I don't know what I want to do. I might sign. I don't know. But I was just trying to get out of there so I can go really celebrate, because I'm about to go play with Peyton freaking Manning, the sheriff. You know what I mean? So they wouldn't let me out of the facility. So I remember trying to leave, and I remember Andy Reid, I see his car just flying down, right? It was flying down. He hopped out what is going on? And, I don't care to go into too many crazy details, but that's just how close it was, because I was literally sitting in that room like, I'm about to sign. I remember calling all my family. I told them I'm about to sign with the Chiefs, and it didn't happen, you know. I ended up coming here, which is the best thing ever.
Emmanuel, this year's team, this year's Broncos obviously have Super Bowl aspirations. What would you tell this group that they could learn from that Super Bowl 50 team, or that they need to know as they go into this
Man,
year?
it's gonna be ups and downs. You're gonna have to gel as a team. You're gonna have to believe in each other. Offense and defense, special teams, everybody has to play off each other. It just can't just be one-sided. And I mean, truthfully, it's one of those situations where I remember when we got in the playoffs, I was just like, you know, if I'm gonna give it my all, but at the end of the day, if it's part of our destiny, it's part of our destiny. But man, that team, we had fun. We hung out all the time outside. We had a guy by the name of Von Miller. And we would hang out all the time. I mean, our camaraderie on the field was the same as off the field. And then, I mean, just from and they don't have to do this, but that 2015 team, we were crazy, dude. Like, truthfully, we were crazy. Like, you know how much money we spent on just clothes and just, like, I think Sports Illustrated named us the most fashionable team or something. Like, Talib would come in with an outfit, or TJ Ward or Vaughn would come in, or DT would come in an outfit, and we would have like a pot of saying, okay, you're the best dressed this week. So I'm like, I got to top them next week, you know. But we had fun. And, you know, one of my most fondest memories, too, is I remember all of us had the jewelry, and Peyton would come in, and Peyton said, I want to try on the jewelry. So we all took our jewelry off and put it on Peyton, and Peyton sitting there with all the jewelry on. And man, I don't know, it was just a special group. It was a special group. And in order to do something special, you got to come together and be special. And, you know, sometimes it just starts with one or two people saying that we're going to be special and start to change everybody. And so that's why we were able to do it.
Emmanuel, on that same tip, Cortland Sutton's now a captain.
Yeah.
So did you view yourself, of course you had the famous fight with him and the whole thing, but
Yeah.
But I would assume you're I don't stop.
Hey, but you want to know what's crazy? That's my boy now. That's my boy. We talked on the phone like 2 weeks ago.
So we did. It was nice.
Yeah, exactly.
TV's a good idea. My question is, what kind of mentor guidance would you give Cortland to get back to what you just talked about?
Yeah.
What would you say?
I don't have to give Cortland anything. Oh, Cortland's a man. Cortland's a man. Am I right, Coach Z? You should see this guy play ball. All the guys have to do, if it's somebody that's coming into the Broncos organization on this team, go put on the film and watch Colton Schmidt play. Every single play, he's going 100% every single rep. He's a guy that I'm saying that the Broncos is the example that can make this play special. Because how can you practice bad when you sitting up here looking at this guy and saying, man, look at this guy go hard. Look at the accolades he's attaining. Why am I going half speed, right? And so that's why he's a captain, because he's a great example, and he will continuously be that, because that's just how Cortland is. He's a man.
What does it mean to be tough to you?
I mean, tough to me is, it's you got the mental aspect of it, you got the physical aspect. The mental aspect is the will. For me, it's the will. What are you willing to do, right? The physical is how much pain can you take and how much pain could you tolerate in order to keep playing this game. And so for me, it was both aspects. It was a lot of times where I would go out in the games and I'm hurt, but I'm like, I don't care, because my will and my mental toughness overcame my physical toughness. And so it's a mindset thing, 100%. And, you know, Coach Z will talk about it all the time. I keep pointing at him because this dude, when it comes to mindset, he got more speeches and more quotes than anybody I know in terms of mental toughness. And he has the right mindset, and he knows exactly what I mean by that.
Couple of junior reporters in the back here.
Oh, Lord. Who is this guy?
Coming back to the Broncos facility, does it bring back memories?
Yeah, it brings back a lot of memories. It brings back a lot of memories. Even seeing those Super Bowls, you know what I mean? Does it bring back memories for you? Yeah, because you was a little kid running around. Zoe, you're a little kid. And now look at us. This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
What do you want your legacy as a football
like I said, 5'11", 175 pounds. There's not too many cats that's like me. There's not too many cats that's like me. I'm different. Truthfully, pound for pound, I feel like I'm the champ. Pound for pound. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of 5'11", 175 pounds, sometimes 173 pounds. I'm proud of that. That's a mindset thing. That's the mental toughness thing. I'm proud of that, right? It's big plays. At one point, you can sit back and say, this guy, 5'11", 173 pounds, went all the way to the Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl from Belleville, Texas, stood at the top of the mountain. That's a mindset thing. That's a physical thing. That's different. I'm different, and I take pride in that.
Time for a few more. Mike Kliss, Zach Stevens, and Kyle Newton.
Yeah, Emmanuel, you were drafted 3 rounds ahead of Antonio Brown in that great Steelers 2010 draft. And then you came here and you were with Demarius. So was it difficult being kind of the other guy, or did you learn to accept maybe being the quintessential number 2?
Yeah, I was willing to accept that. I mean, even for me, when I was with Antonio Brown, I mean, I remember going to war with this guy because Mike Tomlin came out with a quote, I got 2 dogs and I got 1 bone. So he said, I got 2 dogs and pretty much I got 1 helmet, and whoever battles it out during practice will get the helmet that week. That made me stronger. That made me better. Not only that, going against Antonio Brown, you could arguably say Antonio Brown of a stretch was one of the greatest receivers of all time. That's who I was going up against. So then when I got here, I saw Demarius, I sit back and say, oh, man, this guy is special. But I told him, I said, you're Batman, but I'm going to be the best Robin you've ever had, because that's a team. A team come together and be special. 2 receivers coming together for me to be the other guy. Yeah, some people would argue the Broncos got 2 number 1 guys because we're a team. We were able to attain something special. 14, 3,000 yards, 15 going to the Super Bowl because I don't have an ego. I'm okay. I knew who I was. I was still able to go to the Pro Bowl. Both of us made it to the Pro Bowl in the same year. That's a team. When you talk about this Broncos team and want to win a championship, that's a team. That's everybody. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, everybody coming together as one, saying it doesn't matter who get the stats. We can all. It's a lot of food out there for everybody to go get if we do the right thing. That's a team. And truthfully, like, I'm blessed to be able to play with those 2 guys. It was a blessing to play with those 2 guys, 2 of the best receivers in our generation I played with, and it was amazing to see them go to work every day. And I hope that they say the same thing about me.
Emmanuel, you're going to be a TV analyst. Can we get your first take on the 2022 Broncos with Russell Wilson?
2022 Broncos. Let's ride. Oh, what he said? Let's ride. Let's ride.